Today, I want to take you through the Pharma TouchStone online service, which will tell you what chemists and dispensing doctors are doing with their buying patterns in the UK and Ireland. Its primary function is really trying to guess what they're going to do next and look at patterns and trends. But to get to grips with it, let's actually go in. The first thing to say is it doesn't matter which browser you're using, but it would be most helpful if you allow pop-ups on your browser, because we do use pop-ups certainly on some of our services. So the first thing to do is to go to wavedata.co.uk and to click the gold login button here. Then you put your username and password in, and when it accepts that, it will turn the different product options gold according to which services your company subscribes. So I'll click on the Pharma TouchStone online service, and that will take me in there. Now we use two menus here. We use a simple menu for senior people who are coming in sporadically, don't need to know a huge amount, but want to find simple answers very quickly. So this is the report for them. You've also got information at the top here about the date range that's currently covered. So this particular service covers the last 3 to 6 months. This one's 6, just to keep us up to date with everything. The reports you search for, you can search for anything, a brand, a generic, anything you like. I'm going to have a look at Prograph today. So if I click on Go, that will run that report on a new tab as it appears here. And you might notice that we use quite a bit of color coding. So brown is dispensing doctors, green down here on the bottom on the left is invoice data. And as you go down the page, you'll see more green, more brown, and eventually we get to pink, which is the reimbursement prices, and you'll see some kind of peach color, which is parallel imports, and some yellow, which is parallel export. Those are offers made to pharmacy for spare stock. The other thing that's worth saying is you have quite a bit of control over what you see on the page. The filtering ability here is pretty good. So you could, for example, say I want to filter on B&S. I've got B&S in there, and I also want to see one of the best way offers, and I also want to see something else. So you can build a list of what you need. When you've seen what you need, you can get rid of it by clicking the X's to get rid of it and go back to everything again. So that's very simple to do. You can do that with each of those fields. You can also click the column headings to rank the data for a particular month or a particular product, and then you can actually filter out. So the idea is you start your research at 105 records and you work your way down to what you need, and then you always have the export button to actually export the data to the clipboard so you can put it into Excel. Okay, back to the simple report here. Over on the right hand side we have a little button that says menu on it. This is designed to take you into the advanced menu, which is really intended for people that use the service pretty regularly. It takes a little while to learn it, but once you're in, you'll find the data is invaluable, and it will certainly allow you to start to get to grips with trends and cyclical patterns and what your competitors might do next. First thing to say is up in the top right hand corner we have a section here which are global settings. If you use those, they will allow you to actually filter on things like parallel import or parallel export or pharmacy or just dispensing doctor. If your responsibility only deals with dispensing doctors and you never have anything to do with pharmacies, you might want to set that to dispensing doctor and leave it there. The data inboxes are across the center of the page, and there's 5 of these, and they are independent, so you don't necessarily have to have them all filled in at any one moment. So the product one over on the left actually has a little star after it, which means you can use wildcards here. So if I got rid of the pack there and just put a star there and tab out, that'll accept that. And you notice it puts it into the first of the reports here. So if I go back, get rid of the star, go back to that particular pack I want to look at later. So that does allow you to have a lot of control over what you're seeing. Under the supplier, I put a star, so if we happen to look at that, we include all the suppliers. You also have a big question mark next to molecule, which is designed to give you a clue as to which molecules your company subscribes to. If you click that, this particular subscription is for everything, all molecules, but you might find that your subscription might be limited to a couple of molecules or 5 or something like that, so that it fits with what your company needs rather than charging you for the whole lot. The way the reports themselves are triggered is with the go buttons against each report, and they're broken down by detail in the first column on the left, trends in the next column, analyses of various forms in the next one, and then other reports of other forms over on the far right. You also have the simple button here, so you can get back to the simple menu if you want to simplify things or demonstrate to somebody. So on the detail ones, I'm going to run a molecule report. We've got tacrolimus in here already, so let's go and click that. This will give us a breakdown of, it's got 295 records in there at the moment. So again, we could filter quite sufficiently in here to actually try and find what you're looking for. So you could say, oh, I'm just looking for the parallel exports. Let's build a list of those. So find another parallel export. Then we've got all the parallel exports, PEs on one page. And then you could say, oh, I just want to know what CST are doing. So narrow that down to see exactly what they're doing over the last 6 months. So you can be very tailored and very specific in what you're looking for. And when you want to go back to everything, you just click the X's to get rid of those. That's the detailed reports. They all work in a similar fashion. The trend reports, have max min, are the ones that do give you information about what might happen next if you look at trends over time. So if we went and looked at Prograph here as an example, let's have a look at something here and see if we can spot anything. So you could say here, oh, I'm just interested in the PI at the moment and the average price, and I want everything, so I don't want to exclude dispensing doctors. And you could look at that and say, actually, the prices are extremely stable over time here for this particular product, but others might go up and down a lot more. So if I added in there perhaps another pack, something else like that, you could start to see other trends going on according to which particular product you're looking at. And very often those trends, if you're spotting jumps in prices, can give you clues as to when parallel imports come into the country, when in effect the lorry arrives and is ordered and starts to get distributed around the UK. You tend to find the price drops when that happens. The report underneath it, underneath the average max min, is molecule counts. This is counting the number of offers, the number of market offers we've seen for products, and this does similar things to the previous one. It looks for big jumps in the number of market offers, and the idea is simply to use this to give you clues about when distributors are pushing more stock into the market. So we could say the 0.530 looks like it's an interesting one, so let's have a look at that. 0.530, so choose that one, and then we'll choose the parallel import, and then we can look at that and we can see actually there was a peak in March here when it got to 1410, 14, 10, 10, 10, 14. So it's almost as if something slightly unusual was happening every 3 months. And that may actually be a consignment arriving and more stock being made available. You could go to the other reports and drill into that to try and find out what's happening. It could be that they're widening their distribution network and more companies are getting hold of the stock at that particular point. So those are the analyses reports, the trends reports rather. The analyses reports are more specific and they break things down a lot further. Molecule floor prices, this is really designed for commercial managers who are trying to see what's going on so that they know when something is going to come up in a client consultation before the client raises it, a new price in the market, something like that. And what they do is they show you the cheapest company in the market, the minimum price that's being charged by that company, and the overall average, and the number of prices that are being picked up overall. So you can scroll up and down here. We could see, here we are, Prograph 160 PI. It's being sold to pharmacy, 95.37 by Mediwin, and 95.67, and there are 11 prices in the market. So it does sound like they're quite close together, but Mediwin win this time. So that allows you to get a feel, particularly if you're on the commercial side. The other one here is minimum generic price. This is designed to allow you to get to grips with what the generic companies are doing, which might be useful if you're selling generics yourself, or if you're trying to understand generic competition against your brand. And they break the data down according to which generic company is actually making the thing, so that you've got a feel for what's happening. They're all turning up as Sandoz here, but mostly there'll be a variety of different companies. You've then got an analysis report that allows you to look at invoices, And then you've got the final other category of various different reports. The product breakdown is like an online MIMS. It allows you to look up things and see who makes it and what's in it, what the constituent name, molecule name is. There's an address book here which has the addresses of various companies across the UK which supply or manufacture pharmaceutical or medical products. And you've got a counts report that sits here, which allows you to look at the trend, the potential trend in volume, sales, that kind of thing, and stock holding. So that's an overview. I hope that's useful. We would be delighted to hear from you if you want to know more, or if you want to subscribe, we would be very keen to hear from you. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.